Check 1, 2.
What's happening? You want me to get music off? Number 19 coming across at 117.6 miles per hour.
He had a 117.4 the first time around. Second time around was a 118.3. Tosses out 117.6 right in the middle of those two runs. There's a local out of Halsey, car number 308. 109.4 the first time, 110.1 the second time, now a 108.1.
And that would be the Tejon boys, Matt and Mike, in car number 308.
To complete our first sheet of speeds for a half mile, run number 3, it's car 283, 141 miles an hour flat. So they're going to be taking those last two speeds because their previous run was 141.1.
And that was Darcy Laws of Casper, Wyoming. Darcy retired in 2021, now enjoying road racing.
Here comes 204, goes 139.6. It's a little bit slower than the first two times out. Had a 141.3 and a 141.1. The first two times out.
And that was another one of our Nebraska drivers posting that speed, Jason Hornady of Grand Island.
There goes the yellow Dodge Viper. It lets you know it's out there on the shootout track. Goes 145.5. Pretty darn close to that 145.8 that they posted for speed number 2.
That was Ryan Firstenow of Neely, Nebraska, participating for the 12th year in the Sandhills Open Road Challenge events.
Here's car 673, another gunmetal gray Camaro, 137.1 miles an hour. Had two previous speeds that were faster than that, the quickest being 143.5.
That was another one of our rookie drivers making their first appearance here this year, Jacob Klaus of Springfield, Missouri.
Car number 301 up next, that tri-colored car. Excuse me, that was car 858. Let's see, was that from way... Yep, they had not run earlier. So they go 118.7 miles an hour. Good to see him get out on the track. Don't want to guess as to whether he was having problems or not, but good to get that 118 out there. Car 301 coming up next as we get back into order here. The blue Chevy Corvette comes across at 123.3 miles an hour. Had a 126 and a 124.3 earlier on today.
And that was Jack Martin who just posted that speed. Jack out of Hutchinson, Kansas.
Here comes a 2012 Chevy Corvette, car 113, bright red, cooking down the road here at the Cozad Callaway Road. 129.2 miles an hour. Now those are two matching speeds for speed 2 and speed 3 for them.
There you go, Brock Anderson from just down the road a ways in Gothenburg, Nebraska. Second year participating at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge for Brock.
Here comes one of my favorite cars, car number 46. I like the older cars. They come across the line and post a speed of 114.7 miles an hour. That was their second fastest speed earlier today. Their first run, they posted 121.8.
And that was one of the drivers who made the long journey from California to be with us this year, Richard Dayton in car number 46.
Here comes the pickup truck. Truck number 164. Didn't call it a car first this time. Oh, that thing's cool. It's got the white roof and the green body. Comes across at 90.5 miles an hour. Hey, we've got two perfect speeds for the pickup truck the last two runs.
And entry number 164 is being listed in our program as David Sanderson of Glidden, Iowa.
If you're from Utah, are you a Utarian? Utarian? We've got someone from Utah coming up next in car 279. Nice looking white Camaro. And I believe it's a she coming across, if I'm remembering right. I'm really testing my knowledge today. 111.6 miles an hour for car number 279.
Yeah, that was Carly Bates, Eagle Mountain, Utah, a rookie driver making her first appearance. In fact, I think that if you were listening to our radio coverage, you may have heard Emily Barnett visit with Carly about the opportunity to be here at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
There goes the noisy car number 7. 145 miles an hour flat. That was the fastest speed for them in that Corvette. Had a couple of 144 and change runs the first 2 times.
And that was Kirk Sharp, who came down from Valentine, Nebraska to race in a half-mile shootout today.
Lamborghini comes down next, 150.6. That's car number 40. Now, first 2 runs were also in the 150 or so range, closest being 150.9 miles an hour.
And that was a native Nebraskan, Darren Brewer, out of Gretna.
Here comes that Mini Cooper, brand new, 2022, car number 117. We'll see what speed they're able to post. 110.5. Had a 112 and change and 111 and change earlier on this morning.
Number 117 listed in our program as Pred Paul of Lincoln, Nebraska, 8th time taking part in the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
I spy a white Corvette coming up the half-mile shootout course now. It's car number 977. Had a 120.8 and a 118. Now we see a 117.4.
Another one of our rookie drivers making their first appearance here at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge, Dane Troe of Kansas.
Here comes a 2009 Chevy Corvette, car number 94. Has a 147.1 last time out, and now goes 140.5.
That was Zeke Peterson of Brule, Nebraska. 14th year participating at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge events.
Here comes a South Dakotan, Barry Conkin, car number 85. That is a cool looking blue Corvette.
Yes, it is.
Splash of red on the side, 136.8. Barry's getting that thing really dialed in. Has a 136.4, then a 136.6, now a 136.8.
Barry of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, he knows what SORC is all about. Competed in 18 of the past 22 Sandhills Open Road Challenge races.
All right, let's see about car number 10 up next. Car number 10 did a half-mile run the last time out, and the first time out I had them down as running in the mile. So they put a 136.7 out there this time around.
And that was another one of our local boys out of Arnold, Nebraska, Jeff Preston, a name that may be familiar to many of you listening to our radio coverage today.
Car 376 gets a 159.7 mile an hour run. Had a 161.6 and a 158.2 the first time around, so we've got a really good average going.
And that was Steve Tasca of Colorado Springs.
Here comes the fast one. 177.1 miles an hour. Was that car 479?
That was 787, wasn't it? Kevin
787.
Wiesbeck
Okay,
of
I'm out of
South
order
Dakota.
here. Let's see. Oh, yep. He was supposed to be the 5th car out, but he made it down the track now. Great.
I think Kevin was the one that has posted our fastest time so far, or fastest speed in the half-mile shootout.
You would be correct in that. He went 180.6 miles an hour.
Well, I guess that wouldn't be him. We had a 188.
Yeah, and that's
right?
one that we're waiting on, but it looks like they're moving back to the 1 mile shootout starting line. So it looks like we're not going to see car number 11, who I believe sounded like they were having some engine troubles after run number 1. And we're not going to, unfortunately, be able to see car number 479, which you're correct in saying, Brent, posted a 188.9 speed in run number 2 in the half mile. So as it looks like we're not going to see any more half-mile cars, that is going to end up being the fastest half-mile speed today.
All right, so we have concluded the half-mile shootout, all 3 runs of it here at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge events for 2022. Getting ready for the 1 mile shootout now, and we'll come back with those runs after this 60-second timeout. The independent agents at First State Insurance of Arnold can offer you choices that save you money. Becky or Pat would love for you to call 848-2522 to set up an appointment with First State Insurance for a free quote and review. They are proud to support the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. They hope you enjoy the action again this year, the 11th through the 13th. Check out the race and event schedule at sorcrace.com. First State Insurance of Arnold, proud Sork supporters.
At Reed's Food Center in Arnold, they're proud to have served the Arnold community for over 40 years. They're proud to keep local dollars in Arnold, offer the best selections at low prices, and embody small-town friendliness in everything they do. From catering, custom meat cutting, seasoning, and tying roasts, to carrying your groceries to your car, Reed's Food Center in Arnold, proud sponsors of Sandhills Open Road Challenge action. Like their Facebook page or visit reedsfoodcenter.com.
And we are back as we continue with coverage of the half-mile and 1 mile shootout here as part of the Sandhills Open Road Challenge events for 2022. Brent Apperson, Jeremy Shipe with you. Again, we want to say thanks to all the great volunteers that make this event go on each and every year. And, you know, Jeremy, we talk about the people who come back year after year. And, yeah, you have to have people come back to sustain an event. But you have to have volunteers to sustain it too. And a lot of these folks have been helping with the Sandhills Open Road Challenge since its very beginning, a little over 20 years ago. And we can't say thanks enough to them for the way that they have supported us with our coverage of this event, bringing video streaming into the realm of our coverage now. But it just takes a lot of volunteers to put this thing on, and they are greatly appreciated.
Well, and I know one of the volunteers who we see each year around the races, Brock Daly, had a birthday yesterday that I'm aware of. So wanted to throw a shout out to him. According to his mother, he's the big 4-0.
Oh, well,
the big 4-0. So happy birthday to you, Brock.
Now, for someone like me, I'm like, you're still just a kid.
I just hit the big 3-0.
Oh, man, okay, thanks. Now I'm really feeling horrible.
I'm changing the first digits slowly. The first digit stings, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You've done that, what,
yeah,
5 times?
5 times. Be quiet.
Oh, well, we've got some great racing coming up here for the 1 mile. Don't forget that the Sork race is tomorrow morning from Arnold. Would love to have you along for that. As we continue, want to thank, on behalf of the Sandhills Open Road Challenge Committee, they've got some great headline sponsors that put a lot of money forth in order to put on these races each year. They've got their flags flying over by the entrance over here. Hornaday, Asgrow, and DeKalb, Optima Batteries, 444 Racing, Great Plains Communications, who also provided our internet here today, Blueprint Engines, the Pinnacle Bank, and South Loop Seed, all doing wonderful things for Sork again this year. Car 67 gets us started here in the 1 mile, 173.1 miles an hour. Now, they're sitting pretty because they had 2 perfect speeds of 173.7 in the first 2 rounds, and you only take your 2 closest matching speeds, so that was basically like a free run for them.
And according to our program, number 67, brought to us by Todd Gransky of Utica, Nebraska.
Car number 48 scheduled to come down the shootout track next. And we can hear it. And we can see it. Here's their third speed, 161.6. Now that's their slowest of their 3 speeds. They were able to post a 167 the first time down the road.
And with his final run of the morning, that was Denny Powell of Wichita, Kansas. 13th year running at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge for Denny.
Our third car of the 1 mile shootout, scheduled to be, if they're running in order, car number 59. We had a 158.8 and a 158.3 the first time out for car number 59. Let's see about run 3. 159 flat, so faster than the previous two, but only 0.2 of a mile an hour difference from that first run, so good average.
And putting a name with the car, Kevin Hanshoe of Wichita, Kansas, 4th year at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
Car number 1, let's see, car 112 up next. This car's moving pretty quick. Got themselves a 171 earlier today. And they go 168.6. So they sandwiched themselves right on top of their 167.9.
And that was Jared Helge of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Says it's always great to be in Arnold. Excited to see all of their friends once again. 3rd year participating in the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. But it says now they're hooked.
A lot of people do get hooked after they come maybe 1 time, especially 3 times. And you know, car enthusiasts, they tell their friends too, and they only take 120 each year.
Yep.
Here goes car number 667. They go 164.9.
And number 667 in our program, the name associated with it, Gary Bates of Blair, Nebraska.
Here comes Mark Kampner, car 811. He knows all about going fast. He holds the speed record here in his Lamborghini. He's got a Corvette this year. He's gone 168.8 and 167. Here comes Mark in his blue Corvette.
Oh, he's moving.
166.2. So, it's crazy to think that 166 miles an hour is the slowest of 3 times laid down, but that's the situation. Car number 696, I believe, is scheduled to come down the track next.
Another one of our competitors from Lincoln, Nebraska. We've got a lot of them from the capital city participating here at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. And this is Bob Bixler getting ready to come across the line.
They have a need for speed in Lincoln, Nebraska. A 130.9, so slowest of 3 speeds, but good average. Had a 132.4 and a 131.6 earlier, as we look to car number 212 up next. The cattle have moved away, by the way. We don't have a camera angle on the cattle. Maybe we need a cattle cam, but the cattle have moved away. They kind of checked it out. They weren't really interested in the racing. They've moved back over the hill. Here we go, another Mustang, a white one. Car 212 through the finish line, letting off the gas a little bit to post a 158.8, and that's why they were letting off the gas. That's their fastest speed of the day.
And that was Greg Erlandson of Rapid City, South Dakota, posting that speed. 3rd year, it says, for Greg at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
Well, here comes the wind again.
Oh, man.
This is why they make wind screens for microphones.
Yeah, there you go.
I can tell you folks, if we didn't have wind screens, you wouldn't be hearing us. Here comes a red Corvette. Car number 5 across the line. 165.7 miles an hour compared to a 166 flat and a 166.5. It's good average.
And that is posted by the Sork lifer and good friend Wayne Hora of Stapleton, Nebraska.
Car 56 going to be hitting the track next. Now this is one of our fast ones. We're going to hit the 180 mark. If he holds up to what happened the first 2 times around, I think it's going to happen, Brent.
This is Perry White from Brainerd, Minnesota. There you go.
186.1 miles an hour. That is his second fastest time today. Had that 186.6 the first time down the track. Crosswind might be coming into play here a little bit. It was kind of more behind them the second run, and there wasn't really much of a wind this morning, was there? The winds just kind of picked up.
No, when we first sat up, there really was no wind, but it has picked up during the course of the morning.
Car 650, 650 up next, a white Corvette with black stripes down the middle. 149.3 for car 650, their fastest time of the day.
And that was Jared Roberts of Gretna, Nebraska, 10th year participating at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
It's time to break the 170 mark. Car 315 has set themselves at 174.7 and 174.2. I would guess they're going to try to match that 174.7. 173.2 for car 315. Nice looking red Mustang.
And we'll get you a name to go with the number of the car. That was Kevin Miller of Littleton, Colorado, putting together that run. As we mentioned earlier, Kevin, an electrical engineer from Littleton, Colorado. This is his second SORC event after competing in 2019.
Lots of entries here on the 1 mile. We've still got probably about 20 or so to go. As we go to car 234, nice maroon looking Corvette, 154.6 miles an hour. And they had a 156.2 earlier for their fastest posted time.
And that was Brian Maslanka of Lincoln, Nebraska, another one of our drivers from the capital city.
Comes car 206. Heard it announced as a 2003 Chevy Corvette, I think is what I heard. We're going to break the 150 mark with these individuals. Had a 158.5 for their fastest time so far. And they go 156.7.
And that was Derek Lucan of Omaha, Nebraska, competing in SORC for his 4th year. For Derek, his 4th year, but according to our program, looks like his dad, John, might be along again this year. And for John, that would be his 10th year with the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
Great. Car 392 up next. Already about halfway through this 1 mile shootout course on the Cozad Callaway Road. In the 22nd year of the Sandhills Open Road Challenge races, a black Dodge Challenger. Hits a mark of 149.7. That's the slowest of their 3 times. Got a good average going between the 150.8 and the 150.2 earlier on.
Another one of our Colorado friends coming down to participate in the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. That's Scott Fry of Loveland, Colorado, in car number 392.
Comes car number 23. Heard it announced as a Corvette. They had a 167.6 and then a 151.9. They've already crossed the half mile mark now. It's not going to take long for them to get to the mile mark. 155.4, so they go right in between their first 2 speeds.
Les Steinoff was the one who just crossed the line, making that long trip from the state of California. Happy to be back racing in Arnold for at least their 15th year, Les says. Les Steinoff of Montera, California.
Car 321 is coming down the track next, at least there who is scheduled. They had a 154.7 in their second run. That's their fastest time so far, and what they are aiming to equal in their red Dodge Viper. 140.9.
And that was Jim Miller of North Platte, Nebraska, 5th time running in the Sandhills Open Road Challenge. Also says he's an avid racer of the Viper Rendezvous at the Motorsport Park in Hastings, Nebraska. Here
comes one of my favorite cars, the older Chevy Corvair. Had a 162.1 earlier on. They're going to look to equal that in car 690. They're cooking. Great sounding car as well. 161.5. So they go right. That's actually their slowest time or speed of the day. Went 161.8 earlier on.
That was Bob Brownell of Laramie, Wyoming. Second time running in an open road race. Kind of fun to see what he writes in his bio. He says, "We will have no idea what we are doing." I don't think so, Bob. Thanks for being here.
Car 27, cool looking orange Corvette. 167.3 miles an hour. They went 177.6 earlier, so they were crushing it there.
Another one of our Lincoln participants, Sean Smeder, making that run as we continue here in the final leg of the 1 mile shootout.
A 96 Chevy Camaro Z28 coming up next. Heard it announced they're from Valparaiso, Nebraska. Car 282. Oh, and that's car 187 actually. We're going a little out of order here from the order we had last time. That's a 149.6.
Making that run, Dustin Sabatka of Valparaiso, Nebraska. He, like many, always sends out a big thank you to all who help make this event great year after year.
Car 879 coming up next. We're going to see some speed here. He's posted a 186.4 so far. Seems to be going pretty quick this time. Let's see if they can equal it. Nope, having to let off a little bit. A 118.2. So hopefully not some technical problems, but still over 118 miles an hour down the road.
And that was Joseph Greer of Missouri coming across the line. Now another one of our local boys is Brent Culp of Arnold, Nebraska, gets ready to make his final run here in the 1 mile shootout.
Well, he's a Brent that's gone 167 miles an hour. Have you ever gone that fast in a car, Brent?
No.
Okay. He's going fast again.
Oh, man.
Whoa, wow, 171.4. That's his fastest time of the day. Okay, now we've skipped a couple of names and numbers here in our official order. So we've got Jason Rader of Lincoln coming up next, as it was announced for those in attendance here on the Cozad Callaway Road. We'll catch this car number as we come across and see car 462. And I'm going to have to flip a page. I'm not seeing previous times, so this might be a makeup.
I don't know if we've announced Jason. That was Jason Rader, according to our program, number 462. Jason, another one of those competitors that come to us from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yep, and I don't have him on any of my sheets, so good to see him go down the track. Wow, you can really hear this car. Oh, this is that 79 Camaro, car 313. Goes 158.5, 158.5. Earlier went 159.8 for their fastest time.
And that was James Luby of Beaver Crossing, Nebraska, posting that speed. You know, I think it's kind of neat that all these people from Lincoln are coming this direction because, well, for the next couple of months, a lot of us will be going to Lincoln, especially on the weekend.
That's true. Yeah, we're going to make Memorial Stadium the third largest town in Nebraska. Car 20 next, a black Corvette. Had a 181.7 earlier, now go 177.7. Now they almost equaled their first run of 177.6 with that.
And that was the Sork veteran Tommy Vines of Eagle Butte, South Dakota, making that run.
I'm not as familiar with that black Corvette of Tommy's. He usually, I think, if I'm remembering right, has a gray Corvette with like a checkered flag painted on the front of it, if I'm remembering right. Here's Joe Schoen in car number 1. 172 flat. That's his slowest time of the day. Was able to mark a 173.7 earlier on this morning. Now, if you're from Wyoming, what do you call yours? Oh, a Wyomingian? A Wyoming? I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm stuck on this in the back of my mind trying to figure out. Because if you're from Nebraska, you're a Nebraskan. But it ends in ing. It's more difficult. Car 500. They're from Wyoming. They've got that CUDA. 157.8. Had a 157.1 earlier as we move inside of 10 cars to go for the shootout 2022.
Ray Bernard of Casper, Wyoming. Ray's driving a 1973 Chevy Camaro.
Car 47 up next. Another Camaro, another Wyomingian. You can't say Wyoming. You're going to have the G in there. Car 47 comes across and posts a speed of 157 miles an hour flat.
And that was Ray Bernard from Casper, Wyoming, in car number 47, back for their 16th year at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
Car 426 scheduled to be on the 1 Mile Shootout stretch of road next from Ipswich, South Dakota. I love saying you're an Ipswichian. There's no question about that. 169.1 earlier today is the speed they posted. $165.1.
And that was turned in by Doug Jones of Ipswich, South Dakota. Doug says he farms and runs a small trucking operation. Back here for their 7th year at the Sandhills Open Road Challenge.
Car 36 is scheduled to come down next. Now this is where we get into the later part and they kind of mix up their order on the cars sometimes. So we're hoping to see 36 here. I believe it is. It's 32. I believe this is Bill. He's in 166.3. Earlier had a 167.5, so that'll be his closest average there in that NASCAR.
Yeah, that was Bill Schneider from Malcolm, Nebraska, posting that speed.
Car 529 up next. We're going to break the 170 mark, almost get to 180 miles an hour here. 178.6. This is going to be possibly our last 170 plus run of the year. 178.3. In fact, he was going so fast his number was coming off the side of the car, and that's a great average. Put it right in the middle of his first 2 runs.
And that was Chad Christensen, another one of the Nebraska drivers participating today out of Roca, Nebraska.
Michael Rasmussen coming up next in his 95 BMW. This one's plenty noisy, puts out lots of noise. That white BMW already at the half-mile mark there, coming over the crest of that little miniature hill. $130.4. So we've got 2 perfect speeds there, as his second run was 130.4 as well. Three, possibly 4 cars left, depending on how we backtrack here. I think everyone else in the 1 mile has posted, well, there are a couple that have not posted a 3rd time, so wouldn't be surprised with anything that we see here. Nick Ekberg coming up next in that number 65 Chevy Corvette. Nick goes 153.6.
Nick and Lyle Eckberg, they are Sork lifers, there's no doubt about it. Always enjoy seeing them bring their 1965 Corvette. They bring it from Wakefield, Nebraska.
I believe I heard car number 26 is going to be next. I believe this is the Nissan GTR. Fastest speed that they are trying to equal is 166.7. And they post a 156 flat.
Another one of our Colorado participants there for you, Daniel Whipple of Littleton, Colorado, posting that speed.
Car 480 coming up, had a 102.8 earlier. Heard this car leave the starting line all the way down there. I think this is a car that maybe has got a couple things figured out since that first run. He's going way faster. Oh my, there's some smoke. Oh, and a pop of the engine and some more smoke. Just couldn't quite get a hold of it. I think he was easily doing our fastest speed of the day before having that problem. 152.9 as he coasts across the finish line.
And that was number 480, right?
Correct.
Okay, that'd be Robbie Miller of North Platte, Nebraska.
Well, and I see the inflatable at the starting line going down.
We're done.
And that is our indication that the Sandhills Open Road Challenge Half Mile and Mile Shootout for 2022 have officially come to a close. Remember, folks, all of you that were watching the video stream, those logos that were up on the top right-hand part of your screen, we're bringing you the stream. Also, those logos that you see at the bottom of your screen right now, those are the Sork official sponsors. They put forth a lot of time and energy as well as money in order to help Sork happen this year. So keep those sponsors in mind as you are choosing who to do business with in the upcoming year as well. And Brent's got some other sponsors that we'll thank as well right now.
Yeah, Jeremy, before we go off the air, just want to run down our list of radio broadcast sponsors for today's event. Want to say thanks again to the Smoke Shack, First State Insurance, Reed's Food Center, Mills Hardware, Winquist Incorporated, A1 Auto Repair, Shotgun Annie Saloon and Grill, BD in Broken Bow, Fixed Right Auto Body, Grazer's Bar and Grill in Arnold, Trumbull Repair and Towing, Callaway District Hospital with the Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, also John Farley and Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, and Trotter Service. And before we go off the air, just want to give a shout out again to all of our video broadcast sponsors that Jeremy talked about: Callaway District Hospital with Arnold and Callaway Medical Clinics, Anderson Auto Tech, First State Insurance, Mills Hardware, A1 Auto Repair, Lines Appliance, Nebraska State Bank, Trotter Service, BD, Cobblestone Inn and Suites, Power Solutions, Broken Bow Legends Neighborhood Grill, J.R. Meyer Insurance, Callaway Market, Grazer's Bar and Grill in Arnold, Agribest Feeds in Callaway, CarQuest in Broken Bow, Aero Aviation, Rod's Body and Paint, Muddy Creek Auto, and Myers Construction helping sponsor our video streaming of today's event from the Half Mile and 1 Mile Shootout. Well, Jeremy, it was a great event. We will look forward to working with you tomorrow. We want to remind everybody that we'll be on the air, both radio and video, from the start line to get you started tomorrow. From the Sandhills Open Road Challenge, we'll be there right on the edge of Arnold, Nebraska, as they make the run between Arnold and Dunning, and we'll have coverage of that for you coming up tomorrow morning on KBBN 95.3 FM. Also, our streaming platforms, which you can find at Sandhills Express Facebook and the Sandhills Express YouTube channel. Your final thoughts, my friend?
Well, it was a great shootout event again, year 20 for this event, and beautiful weather. Couldn't wish for better weather. The sun kind of getting a little bit hot on your exposed skin now, and a little bit of wind kicking up, but I think it was great that we were able to get 3 full runs in. No cars having any major issues, no cars leaving the road. Everyone is able to enjoy their pastime in these cars safely, and we'll hope that continues on tomorrow. We are 2 days through 3 days of Sandhills Open Road Challenge racing for 2022, and we're glad that you folks joined us on radio and video today for it. we look forward to a third day. Should be a lot of fun.
It should be. And again, we say thanks to all of the sponsors that made our broadcast possible today. Again, for Jeremy Scheib, for our studio engineers back on our radio broadcast, Dave Burney and Jeff Bailey, I'm Brent Apperson. Thanks for listening.
Jeremy, wrapping up the shootout.